and welcome again, guys, in this third lecture. So, here, this is the most important lecture of the entire series because we are going to focus on the revenue of the company, the top line of the company, which is the base for all the profits, for all the earnings a shareholder get. If that is increasing, it's a great sign that company is improving. But beneath that increase, we also need to understand that what are the reasons for the increase. Whether it's an actual increase, it's a sustainable increase, or it is just an increase which is just one time. So here we are going to do four types of analysis. As I've also discussed in the topics to cover, we will be studying different analysis over here: revenue by customer, revenue by segment, cohort, and locational analysis. This is a dummy data taken over here from an IT company over here. This is not the total of all customers. We have assumed that there are, so we have just taken 20 customers and we are trying to analyze the all the revenue workings on this 20 customers. So the first and the most important analysis which a company does is by customer analysis when it sells to the B2B customers. The client codes over here, if you see, have been masked and there has been a segment given over here. We have the revenue in rupees crores for FY24, 25 and FY26. We have again taken a common size over here of the entire revenue of the 20 customers which we have taken. So this is the entire revenue, and what we can observe, the first thing which we need to understand is the concentration risk. Now, what might happen is that you might have 100 customers, but you might have only 3 or 4 customers which concentrate and provide you 80% of the revenue. So, even in a loss of, say, one customer, you might lose a big chunk of revenue. So, the first thing which a company does is to sort the revenue by customer for as the latest period time, and then we need to try to understand that what are the top 10, 20, 30 customers contributing to our revenue. So in this particular case, you can see the top 10 customers are providing around 83% of the revenue in FY26. This is a very important case because, as you understand, as I told you, the risk, there's a concentration risk over here. We see that this has been increasing over a period of time over here. So then we need to focus more on these customers, and we need to understand that what kind of agreements which we have signed with these customers. Are the competitors in the market providing any product which the competitors can provide better than us, or they have a better quality or better features so that customers can switch, or do we have a lock-in period with the customers? When is the expiry of the master service agreement? When is the expiry of the SOW? Have there been changes in the recent clauses of the SOW? What is the penalty clause, termination clause? For this top 10 customers, it is very important that you study all these details. Now, the first, second thing which we need to understand from this analysis is that you will try and analyze each customer and see how it is moving. When you see for client number one over here, it is 24% of the entire revenue in FY24, then 26%, and then suddenly it has increased to 34%. Now, what is happening is it is possible that other customers are providing lesser revenue than before, or this customer has a huge increase. If you see 45 to 16, 15 million increase over here. Similarly, over here also there's a 15 million increase over here, but the percentage of concentration of the revenue has increased drastically over here. So we also need to understand that what is happening. When you see the contract status over here, you see the master service agreement is expiring in Q3 FY24. Now this is a critical risk over here because you are at March 26 in FY26, which is March 26. You have Q3 of FY27 over here. That means basically 9 months for the master service agreement to expire. So you need to start the discussion with the client to understand that if we have to renew the contract, then what will be the clauses, what will be the change in the terms and conditions, what will be the services which will be required. So in this manner, you have to analyze every single customer. What is the movement? How are they concentrating to the revenue? Whether there has been change in the price over here. So as we see over here for client number 13, say it's a BFSI legacy customer, okay, and it is concentrating only 3 to 4% only, and the revenue is also in the same range only. But the SOW extension is pending. So this is a big risk to us. If we are providing the services without having a statement of work or SOW in place, that means the customer can withdraw the service at any point of time, and there could be a legal dispute as well. So then we have to focus on SOW extension, and we have to complete the pending extension over here. Similarly, when you go and analyze the numbers also, we'll be able to see the trend over here. For example, client number 2, 30, 25 and 20 million. What is happening over here? This is the biggest client. This is the third biggest client what we can see from here, right? It's concentrating around 16%, 11%, 9% in all the 3 years, but the revenue has been declining over here. So, what could be the reason for that? We need to understand this from management. We need to understand this from the clients that what is exactly happening due to which they are giving us lesser revenue. Now, it could be there could be a pricing pressure over here. It's a low margin contract. My competitors are providing it in a better competitive price, so they are going to the competitors now over here. For me, it's a big risk because it is the third largest customer. If this revenue goes, my entire revenue growth will go over here. It's around 20 crores out of the entire of 220 crores. It's a big number. So we need to focus that. We need to see how we can convince the customer based on maybe the existing relationship or the quality which we are providing. We need to understand and we need to get the customer on board, and we need to focus how to increase on this revenue. Again, see, for customer 5, if you see the numbers, it is 5.8 crores, then 20 crores, and then 7 crores. Why there's a sudden increase in this 20 crores? This should be a question to which you need to ask to your management. As I've mentioned in the contract status over here, that there is a one-time revenue FY26. It is very much possible that client 5 wanted a specific product or a specific installation done, maybe because of its transition, and due to which it asked for a big revenue over here, and it gave a big revenue and asked for some specific services. Now this 20 million consists of revenue which will be not getting going forward, right? Because the one time revenue. So then your 181 to 1224 million, which we see what's the increase over here. If we see the increase is around 23%. This is not an actual increase because a major chunk of this increase is consisting of one-time revenue. For example, the if I remove the one-time revenue, let's say 14 million over here, example, then the revenue seems in line 5.8, 6, and 7, and the increase is around 15%. So the 10% staggering increase which we see is just because of this one-time revenue. This is the important aspect which we need to consider over here. Another important aspect over here which you need to understand is, for example, this client, the revenue has been declining constantly over here. Now it's under pricing revenue over here. So we need to understand that what's happening over here, what is the problem with this customer. Again, it's a pricing problem or what kind of problem. Another analysis which you can do over here, since it's the IT segment, you must bill to the customer basis on the time and material, or you bill to the customer basis on a fixed price project contracts. So what you need to do is that you need to break this revenue again further into FPP, which is the fixed price project, and TNM, which is time and material, and the SaaS project, which is just basically you are charging for the product or the services which you are trying to provide to them. Once that is broken down into three subcategories of the segment available, you can analyze it based on the volume sold. For example, you're billing 20 hours per month. Now it has suddenly declined to 15 hours. So you could have asked them that what is the reason for the decline in the 5 hours, right? This decline could be because of critical resource non-availability, or because the client itself didn't have the work which they can provide it to us. They didn't require the work from us. If it's a fixed price contract, we can try to understand that what are the clauses and what are the stages in which the revenue has been recognized over here. So these are certain aspects which you need to understand when you're talking about the revenue by customer analysis. You can further break it down into different segments. You have to analyze based on the volume, based on the price. Once you get the volumes, you can easily derive the price and you can understand the trends in the price. For example, I'm charging $120 per hour from my customer, and now it has declined to $110, and now it is again declined to $90 in FY26. So then I can specifically ask the customer, that I can specifically ask the management, the customer, why there has been a decline. Is it because of the service issue, or is it because the contract is signed in a way that the services will be highly charged in FY24 and then declined? And if the SOW is expiring, can we renew it to the latest services? So this will give you an understanding how the revenue will look going forward. In the next lecture, we'll be discussing revenue by segment analysis and some location analysis as well. So I hope you enjoyed this lecture. If you do have any queries, please, you can reach out to me. Thank you so much.